Before we dive in, please remember that I am not a financial advisor, a lawyer, or a CPA. This presentation is for educational and entertainment purposes only. The information shared in this video is based on my personal experience and should not be considered financial or legal advice. Real estate investing involves significant risk, and there is no guarantee of profits. Always do your own research and consult with licensed professionals before making any investment decisions. You've seen the gurus, right? Leaning against a rented McLaren, talking into their phone on a beach in Bali, telling you that you can make $100,000 a month flipping houses you've never seen, all from the comfort of your laptop. You bought the dream. You spent thousands on the software, the data list, the virtual assistants, the cold callers from halfway around the world. And what do you have to show for it? An empty bank account, a list of angry homeowners who've blocked your number, and that sinking feeling in your stomach that you've been scammed. Let me tell you a secret they won't. Virtual wholesaling, as they teach it, is dead. It's a ghost, a relic of a zero-interest rate market that no longer exists. Following their 2021 playbook in today's market is like trying to navigate a minefield with a tourist map. You're not just going to fail, you're going to get wiped out. But here's the flip side of that coin, the part that should get you excited. While that old model is dead and buried, a new one has risen from its ashes. A smarter, leaner, more strategic model of virtual wholesaling that is quietly creating a new wave of millionaires in this country right now. And the difference between the ones getting rich and the ones going broke comes down to three things. In this video, I'm pulling back the curtain. We're not talking about motivational fluff or get-rich-quick fantasies. We are dissecting the anatomy of a successful modern virtual wholesaling business. I'm going to expose the three fatal mistakes that are silently killing 95% of virtual operations before they even close a single deal. And more importantly, I'm going to give you the three market-proof pillars you must build your business on to not just survive, but absolutely dominate in the current US market. By the time you're done watching this, you will have a clear, actionable blueprint. No more guessing, no more wasting money, just a proven strategy. For those of you who don't know me, my name isn't important. What is important is that over the last decade, I've built and scaled multiple seven-figure real estate businesses, the majority of them completely virtual. I've closed deals in markets I couldn't point to on a map. I've made the mistakes, I've burned the money, and I've figured out what actually works, boots on the ground in the real world, not in a PowerPoint presentation at some hotel conference. And it all starts with the single biggest, most catastrophic error that almost everyone makes first. Fatal mistake number one. You're picking your markets like you're throwing darts at a map while blindfolded. The gurus tell you to look for simple things. Population growth, a hot Zillow market, maybe a city mentioned in a Forbes article titled, Top 10 Cities to Invest in. This is, without a doubt, the laziest and most destructive advice in the industry. Why? Because you and 10,000 other aspiring wholesalers who just watched the same YouTube video are all flooding into the exact same places. You're all targeting Phoenix, Tampa, Dallas, and Charlotte. What happens when a market becomes saturated? First, your marketing costs explode. That pay-per-click lead that cost you $50 a year ago now costs $300. That direct mail campaign that used to get a 1% response rate now gets a fraction of that, because every homeowner is getting 10 identical "I want to buy your house" postcards a week. They're not just ignoring them, they're getting angry. You're burning the very soil you're trying to plant in. Second, the sellers become incredibly sophisticated. They've already spoken to 10 other investors this week. They know all the lines. They know what their house is worth, and they know you're trying to get a discount. The days of finding a naive seller who will happily give away their equity are gone in these saturated markets. You're competing with seasoned local pros who can build rapport in person, and you're just a voice on the phone from 1,000 miles away. And finally, your reputation gets trashed before you even have one. Local real estate agents in these hot markets despise wholesalers, especially out-of-state virtual ones. They see you as a nuisance who locks up properties and can't perform. So when you finally get a deal and need a reliable agent to help you, they won't even return your call. You're an outsider, an amateur, and you're playing in the major leagues without any training. The truth is, by the time a market is declared hot by the mainstream media, you are already too late. The smart money, the real players, they identified that market 18, 24, even 36 months ago. They got in, they built their systems, they established their brand, and now they're the ones selling their overpriced deals to newcomers like you. You are their exit strategy. So how do you find the right markets? You have to become a data scientist. You have to learn to identify the markets within the market by looking at micro indicators, not macro trends. Here's the playbook. First, you need to analyze the right days on market or DOM. Everyone looks at the overall DOM for a city. That's useless information for a wholesaler. You don't care how long a pretty, retail-ready house listed with an agent sits on the market. You care about one thing. How fast are cash buyers closing on deals? You need to look specifically at the DOM for properties sold for cash with no financing. This tells you the health of your actual customer base, the flippers and the landlords. If distressed properties sold for cash are sitting for 90 days, your buyers are scared. There's no liquidity. But if you find a market where cash sales are closing in 12 days, you found a feeding frenzy. You found a pond full of hungry fish. Second, you have to stop falling for the spread fallacy. A guru will show you a deal where the after-repair value, the ARV, is $400,000 and they got it under contract for $250,000. They shout, "That's a $150,000 spread." But that number is a complete fantasy. A $150,000 spread in San Diego, California, is a losing deal. After you factor in the insane cost of labor, materials, permits, high holding costs, and exorbitant closing fees, that spread evaporates. But a $70,000 spread in a place like Cleveland, Ohio, or Birmingham, Alabama, could be a grand slam home run. You have to go deeper. You must research and create a spreadsheet of local repair costs. Call a few local contractors. Call a few local property management companies. Ask them what a roof costs, what a kitchen remodel costs, what the average monthly taxes and insurance are. A deal is not about the gross spread. It's about the net profit to your end buyer. If you can't calculate that accurately, you are gambling, not investing. Third, you must gauge the real-time wholesaler velocity. This is something you won't find on any data website. And it's my secret weapon for vetting a market. Forget the national headlines. Go local. Join the local real estate investing Facebook groups for the city you're considering. Don't post anything. Just watch. For 2 weeks, just observe. How many other wholesalers are posting deals? Are they posting a new deal every few hours, or one a week? More importantly, look at the comments. When someone posts a deal, are there dozens of legitimate cash buyers commenting, "Send me the address. I'll take it," within minutes? Or is it just crickets and other wholesalers trying to daisy chain the deal? The engagement in these local online communities is the real-time pulse of the market. It tells you everything you need to know about supply, demand, and competition. And fourth, you need to run what I call the boots on the ground index. A virtual wholesaling business is not virtual. That's the biggest lie of all. You absolutely need reliable, affordable people on the ground to be your eyes and ears. You need photographers, lockbox installers, and maybe even runners to meet with sellers. How do you know if you can build this team? It's simple. Before you spend a single dollar on marketing, post a simple ad on Craigslist or a local Facebook jobs page. The ad should say something like, "Seeking person to take 30 to 40 photos of residential properties. Must have a smartphone. Pay is $50 per property, takes about 30 minutes. Great for gig workers." Now watch what happens. If you get 50 replies in 24 hours from qualified, articulate people, you found a market with a strong gig economy. You can build a team there. But if you get 2 responses and they're both written in broken English, you need to run for the hills. That market will be an operational nightmare. Let's put this all together. Take a market like Austin, Texas. On paper, population growth is through the roof. But if you apply this framework, you'll see cash sale dumb is creeping up. Local repair costs are astronomical. The Facebook groups are flooded with hundreds of desperate wholesalers posting garbage deals. And it's tough to find reliable help that isn't overpriced. Now compare that to a less sexy market, say Chattanooga, Tennessee. You might find that cash sales are closing in under 2 weeks. A full gut rehab costs a third of what it does in Austin. The local Facebook group has a handful of consistent players but tons of hungry buyers, and your $50 photographer ad gets 100 applicants. Which market do you think you have a better chance of succeeding in? It's not even a contest. So, picking the right market isn't about following the herd. It's about being a contrarian. It's about being a data-driven operator who finds opportunity where others only see a flyover state. It is the absolute foundation of your entire business. If you get this wrong, nothing else matters. Your $1 million marketing campaign will fail. Your world-class sales team will have nothing to sell. But if you get this right, you've put the wind at your back. You've now picked the perfect market. A hidden gem ripe with opportunity and low on competition. But that's only step 1. Because a perfect market is useless if you can't find a motivated seller. And the marketing strategies that used to be the gold standard are now burning more cash than a bonfire at a billionaire's retreat. The second fatal mistake is all about how you reach these sellers and why your current approach is likely pushing them directly into the arms of your competition. Think about it. What does every guru tell you to do? Hammer the phones, blast out 10,000 text messages, send an army of virtual assistants to cold call every name on the probate list until their voices go hoarse. It's a numbers game, they say. Brute force. It's the marketing equivalent of trying to open a locked door by just running at it over and over again. Maybe, just maybe, if you're lucky, you'll break it down before you break your shoulder. But in today's market, that door isn't just locked. It's reinforced with steel, it's got a security system, and the person on the other side has already seen 100 other guys try to do the exact same thing. This brute force, shotgun blast approach is the second fatal mistake. It's not just inefficient. It's actively destroying your reputation and your chances of closing a deal before you even speak to a real human being. Let's get brutally honest about what a seller experiences in 2024. Their phone buzzes. It's a text from a number they don't know. Hi, this is Mark. I'm interested in buying your property at 123 Main Street. Are you the owner? Cash offer, close fast. Delete. Block. An hour later, another one. Hey Sarah, saw you own 123 Main Street. My partner and I are buying in the area. Any interest in selling? Delete. Block. The next day, a voicemail, but it's not a real voicemail. It's a pre-recorded, tinny-sounding message. Hi, this is David with Express Home Buyers. Delete. What is the immediate gut-level reaction to this? It's not, oh wonderful, a solution to my problems. It's ugh, another one. Feels cheap. Feels invasive. Feels like a scam. You are instantly lumped in with every other low-effort, high-volume spammer out there. You haven't built rapport. You haven't built trust. You've just become digital noise. You've become an annoyance. And here's the kicker. What if that homeowner, Sarah, actually was thinking about selling? What if she inherited that house, it's in rough shape, and she's overwhelmed? Your text message didn't make her feel relieved. It made her feel targeted. It made her guard go up. So what does she do? She doesn't text you back. She goes to Google. She types in how to sell an inherited house, or sell my house fast for a fair price. And who shows up? The iBuyers with their slick websites and billion-dollar marketing budgets. The top-producing real estate agent in her area with 100 5-star Zillow reviews. Or maybe your competitor, the smart virtual wholesaler who understood this shift was coming. The one who didn't send a spammy text, but instead created a helpful article or a YouTube video titled, "The 5 Biggest Mistakes People Make When Selling an Inherited Property in Your City." You see the difference? Your brute force approach pushed her away from you and directly into the arms of someone who treated her like an intelligent human being looking for a solution, not just a name on a list to be spammed. The old model is based on interruption. The new model is based on attraction. The old model is about hunting. The new model is about farming. You are trying to be a hunter in a world where all the animals have radar and know exactly where you're hiding. It's a losing game. The fundamental flaw in the brute force model is that it treats every seller the same. It assumes that the only thing a seller cares about is a fast cash offer. But that's a massive and frankly lazy assumption. Motivation is not a simple yes or no switch. It's a complex spectrum of human emotion and circumstance. The person going through a divorce has a different set of needs than the tired landlord. The person who just lost a parent and inherited a home filled with memories has a completely different emotional state than the person who is relocating for a dream job. Your generic, one-size-fits-all text message speaks to none of them. It's like a doctor walking into a waiting room and just shouting, "Who wants some pills?" without diagnosing a single person. It's malpractice. The smart virtual wholesaler, the one who is thriving right now, operates like a specialist, a consultant. They understand that their job isn't to buy houses. Their job is to solve complex, often painful, real estate-related life problems. The house is just the asset tied to the problem. So instead of spending all their money on data and dialers to blast out offers, they spend their time and resources understanding these specific problems and positioning themselves as the go-to expert for solving them. They don't ask, "Do you want to sell your house?" They create content and systems that answer the questions the seller is already asking themselves in the middle of the night. Questions like, how can I stop a foreclosure? Can I sell my house if my tenants won't leave? What's the fastest way to liquidate a property from a parent's estate? By providing value and answers before ever asking for anything in return, They build trust and authority. So when that seller is finally ready to take action, who do you think they're going to call? The random, anonymous number that sent them a spam text 3 weeks ago? Or the person who has already given them valuable information and demonstrated that they understand their specific situation? It's not even a contest. This is the paradigm shift that separates the wholesalers who are failing from the ones who are scaling. Stop thinking of yourself as a cash buyer. That commoditizes you. There are 1,000 other people claiming to be cash buyers. Start thinking of yourself as a problem solver or a real estate solutions provider. This immediately elevates you above the noise. It changes the entire frame of the conversation. You're no longer a predator trying to get a deal. You're a partner trying to help them find the best possible outcome. And sometimes the best outcome isn't even selling to you. The new school virtual wholesaler isn't afraid of this. They have a network of agents, lenders, and contractors. If a creative financing solution is better for the seller, they help them find it. If a traditional listing with a top agent will net them more money, they make that referral. Why? Because this solidifies their role as a trusted advisor. That seller will now become a source of referrals for life. They'll tell their friends, "You have to talk to this person. They were so helpful and honest, they didn't even try to just buy my house. They helped me figure out the best option for me." That kind of reputational goodwill is worth more than any single deal. So the second fatal mistake is clinging to an outdated, transactional, brute force marketing model. In a world that now demands a relational, value-driven, consultative approach, you're bringing a club to a drone fight. The question is no longer, how many people can I contact? The question is, how can I get the right people to contact me? It's about flipping the entire script. It's about moving from a position of chasing to a position of being sought after. This isn't just theory. This is the practical reality of where the market is. The wholesalers who are complaining that leads have dried up are the ones still running the old playbook. The ones who are quietly closing more deals than ever with higher profit margins are the ones who made this shift. They've built a machine that attracts, educates, and pre-sells homeowners before they ever get on the phone. They're not just buying leads. They're creating their own exclusive, high-trust lead flow. But this leads us to the third and perhaps most insidious fatal mistake. Because even if you fix your list pulling, and even if you adopt this new marketing philosophy, you can still fail spectacularly if you don't understand the new economics of a virtual deal. The way you calculate your offers, the way you structure your deals, and the very definition of a good wholesale fee has been completely upended. And the number one reason wholesalers go broke is because they're making offers based on a market that no longer exists. So let's talk about that market. The one that no longer exists. To understand why virtual wholesaling is so treacherous right now, you have to understand the cocaine-fueled party that was the 2020 to early 2022 real estate market. We were living in an era of ZIRP, zero interest rate policy. The government and the Fed basically turned on a fire hose of free money and pointed it directly at the housing market. Mortgage rates were at historic lows, 2.5%, 3%. Money was practically free for anyone with a pulse. And what did this do? It created a feeding frenzy. Think about it from a wholesaler's perspective. Your after repair value, or ARV, was a moving target in the best way possible. It was always going up. You could be wrong about the ARV by $20,000, and in 3 months the market would have appreciated so much it bailed you out and made you look like a genius. Your repair estimates could be sloppy. Who cares if you missed 10 grand in plumbing work? The house would be worth an extra 30 grand by the time your buyer sold it anyway. The margin for error was massive. And your buyers? You didn't have buyers, you had addicts. They were desperate for inventory. You had the iBuyers, companies like Opendoor, Zillow, and OfferPad, who were literally programmed to overpay for properties to gain market share. You had Wall Street hedge funds with billions in capital buying up entire neighborhoods of single-family homes sight unseen. You had fix-and flippers who could get hard money loans for next to nothing, so their holding costs were ridiculously low. And you had everyday landlords, the mom-and-pop investors, who could get a conventional loan at 3% and cash flow on almost any property. The buyer pool was a mile wide and a mile deep. As a virtual wholesaler, your job was easy. You could be sitting in your pajamas in Boise, Idaho, pull a list of absentee owners in a hot market like Tampa, Florida, blast out 1,000 lowball offers using a simple formula, and get a deal. You'd lock it up, send one email to your cash buyers list, which was really just a collection of these desperate, cash flush investors, and you'd have a bidding war on your hands. You could get away with not knowing the market. You didn't need to know the difference between Seminole Heights and South Tampa. You just needed a contract. The sheer velocity of the market covered up all your weaknesses. It was the golden age of lazy wholesaling. Then in 2022, the music stopped. The Fed didn't just take away the punch bowl. They flipped the entire table over. They initiated the most aggressive series of interest rate hikes in modern history. That fire hose of free money wasn't just turned off. It was put into reverse. And the entire ecosystem that made virtual wholesaling so easy completely collapsed almost overnight. First-year buyers vanished. The iBuyers slammed on the brakes, laid off thousands of employees, and started reporting billions of dollars in losses because the homes they overpaid for were now worth less. The Wall Street hedge funds paused their acquisition programs. Their cost of capital had just exploded. Your fix and flipper buyers? Their hard money loan rates jumped from 6 or 7% to 12, 13, even 14%. Their holding costs literally doubled. A flip that used to take 6 months and cost them $10,000 in interest now cost them $20,000 or $25,000. Their profit margins evaporated. And the mom-and-pop landlords? The 3% mortgage was gone. Now they were looking at 7 or 8%. A property that used to cash flow $200 a month was now negative $300 a month. They were out. So your giant buyer pool of thousands of desperate investors shrunk down to a tiny, highly educated, and extremely cautious puddle of seasoned veterans. These are the old school guys. The ones who have been doing this for 30 years, who survived 2008, and who pay with actual literal cash that they have in the bank. They don't use debt. And let me tell you, these guys are sharks. They don't buy okay deals. They don't buy decent deals. They only buy absolute, screaming home run grand slams. They know their farm area down to the street level. They know which builder used faulty plumbing in that one subdivision built in the 90s. They know that the east side of the street is worth 5% less than the west side because of the school district line. And you, the virtual wholesaler sitting 1,000 miles away, are trying to bring them a deal? You're at a massive, massive disadvantage. The old playbook is now a suicide mission. Sending out blind offers based on a zestimate and a generic formula is the fastest way to go broke. Let's talk about that formula, the classic MAO formula. Maximum allowable offer. It's typically ARV times 70% minus repairs. That 30% discount was supposed to cover the flipper's closing costs, holding costs, and their final profit. But as we just discussed, holding costs have doubled. That 30% isn't enough anymore. A smart buyer in today's market might need a 35% or even 40% discount from the ARV to make the numbers work. If you're still using the 70% rule, every single offer you make is fundamentally flawed. You're promising a seller a price that no real buyer is willing to pay. You'll get a contract signed, waste everyone's time, and then have to cancel the deal, destroying your reputation with sellers, agents, and title companies in that market. Let me paint a picture for you. Imagine a guy named Kevin. In 2021, Kevin was a virtual wholesaling rock star. From his apartment in Austin, Texas, he was doing 5 deals a month in Phoenix, Arizona. He had a simple system. He'd pull a list, use a software to guess the ARV, plug it into the 70% formula, and blast out offers. He'd lock one up for $250, knowing the ARV was around $400. He'd send it to his buyers and bam, sold for $270, a quick $20,000 fee. He did this over and over. He thought he was a real estate prodigy. Then came late 2022. He gets a property under contract for $280. The ARV, according to his software, is $450. Looks like a great deal. He sends it out to his Phoenix buyers list. And for the first time ever, crickets. Nothing. He sends it out again with a more urgent subject line. One guy replies, a seasoned flipper he'd sold to before. The email is short and brutal. It says, Kevin, your ARV is a fantasy. That neighborhood has dropped 10% in the last 4 months. The real ARV is $400 max. And your repair estimate of $50,000 is a joke. I walked the property next door, it needs at least $80,000 in work. With my cost of money at 13%, I wouldn't touch this thing for a penny over $200,000. Kevin's stomach drops. He's under contract for $280. The most anyone will pay is $200. He has a $80,000 gap. He has to go back to the seller with his tail between his legs and cancel the contract. The seller is furious. The agent involved tells everyone she knows that Kevin is a fraud. He tries again a month later. Same result. His business, which was netting him $40,000 to $50,000 a month, completely evaporated in less than a quarter. Why? because he wasn't a real estate prodigy. He was just a guy who benefited from a historic once-in-a-lifetime bull market. The market covered his ignorance. When the market turned, his ignorance was exposed. This is the critical danger of virtual wholesaling today. You are competing against local sharks who have an insurmountable information advantage over you. Relying on Google Maps and Zillow in a market that demands surgical precision is like bringing a butter knife to a gunfight. So, if the old model is broken, if your buyers are gone, and if the math you've been taught is flat out wrong, does that mean virtual wholesaling is dead? Is it impossible to succeed from a distance in today's market? Not at all. But it requires a radical shift in strategy. It demands that you evolve. You can no longer be just a virtual wholesaler. You have to become a digital local expert. You must build a new kind of buyer's list, analyze deals with a completely different lens, and leverage people and technology in a way that gives you a true competitive advantage. And building that digital infrastructure, your virtual boots-on-the-ground team that can actually outmaneuver the local guys, is the key to not just surviving but absolutely thriving in this new environment. So, what does this virtual team actually look like? Who are the mission-critical players you need to recruit to dominate a market from 1,000 miles away? This isn't about hiring a massive staff. It's about surgically placing a few key individuals who act as your eyes, ears, and hands in a city you may have never even set foot in. Think of it less like hiring employees and more like assembling the cast of Ocean's 11. Each person has a specialized role, and when they work in sync, you can pull off the impossible. Your first and arguably most tangible hire is your local property photographer. This person is your lifeline to the physical asset. You can't make a confident offer, and more importantly, you can't sell a deal to a cash buyer based on fuzzy Google Street View images from 3 years ago. Your buyers need to see the good, the bad, and the ugly right now, and they need to trust what they're seeing. The role of your photographer is simple. Go to the property, follow a very specific checklist, and send you a comprehensive package of photos and videos. We're talking 50, 100, even 200 photos. We want everything. Close-ups of the water heater label to see the date. A shot of the electrical panel with the cover off. A slow, steady video walking through every single room. We want them to get on their hands and knees and take a picture of the foundation from the crawl space access. We want a picture of the shingles on the roof. This isn't a beauty contest. This is a forensic analysis. Now, who is this person? It doesn't have to be a high-end architectural photographer. In fact, sometimes they're the worst for the job because they try to make everything look pretty. You want reality. You can find reliable people on platforms like Thumbtack, Craigslist, or even by reaching out to local property management companies and asking who they use for move-in/move-out inspections. The key is not their resume, but their reliability and ability to follow instructions. You pay them a flat fee per property, maybe $50 to $150 depending on the market and the scope of work. Never pay hourly. You want to incentivize efficiency, not sightseeing. The secret to making this work is creating an ironclad, non-negotiable checklist, a PDF they can pull up on their phone. It should detail the exact shots you need every single time. Take 4 photos of the exterior, 1 from each corner. Take a 30-second video of the street view, panning left and right. Take a close-up photo of the HVAC unit's manufacturing plate. When you systemize the data collection, you remove the guesswork. You get consistent, reliable information on every potential deal, which allows you to make offers with surgical precision from your home office. This one team member single-handedly solves the biggest logistical hurdle of virtual wholesaling. Next up, and this one might be a little controversial for some old-school wholesalers, is your partner real estate agent. Now hold on. I know what you're thinking. Wholesalers don't use agents. And in a traditional sense, you're right. You're not having them represent you as a buyer. This is a strategic alliance. Your partner agent is your source for the single most important piece of data in any deal, the after-repair value or ARV. Sure, you can pull comps from Zillow or PropStream, and you absolutely should. But nothing, and I mean nothing, beats the accuracy of an on-the-ground, experienced agent pulling fresh, active comps directly from the local MLS. They see what's pending, they know which sales had seller concessions, they understand the nuances of a specific subdivision that an algorithm will never catch. Their insight can be the difference between a $10,000 profit and a deal you lose your shirt on. So how do you find one, and what's the arrangement? You're looking for an investor-friendly agent. Go on BiggerPockets and search the forums for your target city. Look for agents who are active and talking the talk. Or even better, look at the MLS for recent cash sales of distressed properties, and see which agents are representing the buyers. Those are your people. You call them up and pitch them a simple, mutually beneficial relationship. You say, "Look, I'm an investor who buys multiple properties in your area every month. I need an agent who can provide me with quick, accurate CMAs, comparative market analyses, on properties I'm looking at. In exchange for your expertise, I can offer you a couple of things. First, if for any reason my cash buyer falls through on a deal I get under contract, you get the listing. It's a guaranteed pocket listing for you. Second, for every set of comps you run, I can pay a small flat fee, or we can work out a different arrangement." Most investor-friendly agents will jump at this. It's easy work for them, it builds a relationship with a volume player, that's you, and it gives them a pipeline of potential listings. For you, it's a small cost of doing business that provides an incredible layer of security and accuracy to your underwriting. They become your local market expert. The third and final cornerstone of your virtual A-team is the title company, or in some states, a real estate attorney. This is the absolute linchpin of your entire operation. You can find the deal, get the photos, run the comps, and find a buyer, but if you don't have a title company that understands how to process an assignment of contract or a double closing, the entire thing will fall apart at the finish line. You cannot, I repeat, you cannot just use any title company. You need one that is explicitly investor-friendly. A standard retail title company that primarily deals with traditional home buyers and their mortgages will often get confused, scared, or just plain refuse to do an assignment. They'll tell your seller it's illegal, they'll tell your buyer it's sketchy, and they will kill your deal dead in its tracks. An investor-friendly title company, on the other hand, sees assignments and double closes all day, every day. They are your partners in the transaction. They know how to communicate the process to the seller, how to handle the paperwork seamlessly, and how to ensure you get paid without any drama. So, how do you find this magical entity? It's simple. You network. The best way is to find a local real estate investors association, or REIA, for your target market. Find their Facebook group or website and post a simple question. Who is the most investor-friendly title company in town that handles assignments? You will get a flood of recommendations. Call the top 2 or 3, explain that you're a virtual wholesaler, and confirm they're comfortable with your business model. Once you find a good one, you treat them like gold. They are the operational hub of your business in that market. You will build a relationship with a specific escrow officer, and they will become an invaluable part of your team, ensuring every transaction closes smoothly and professionally. So there you have it. Your photographer for physical data, your agent for market data, and your title company for transactional execution. These 3 pillars form the foundation of your virtual boots on the ground. They allow you to operate with the same, if not more, confidence and efficiency as a local investor. You're leveraging local expertise without having to be local yourself. You're building a business, a system, not just doing a one-off deal. You're the CEO directing your team from afar. But having the team is only half the battle. How do you manage them effectively? How do you keep track of all the moving parts from lead intake to closing, all from your laptop? That's where the technology comes in. The systems and software that act as the digital nervous system for your entire operation. In the next part, we're going to dive deep into the specific tech stack that the top virtual wholesalers are using today. The tools that let you manage multiple markets, dozens of leads, and your entire virtual team, turning your business into a truly scalable, location-independent deal closing machine. All right, let's break down the architecture of this deal closing machine. This isn't just a list of apps to download. This is a strategic system where each component feeds the next. Think of it like building a high-performance engine. You can't just throw parts together. They have to be the right parts working in perfect sync. The entire system starts with one thing: data. In traditional wholesaling, you might spend weeks driving for dollars, looking for houses with overgrown lawns and boarded-up windows. Virtually, you can't do that. So your data provider becomes your eyes and ears. This is the absolute foundation. The 2 heavyweights in this space are PropStream and Batch Leads. These platforms are not just lists of names and addresses. They are sophisticated intelligence-gathering tools. You can log in from your laptop in Austin, Texas, and instantly pull a list of every homeowner in Cleveland, Ohio who is behind on their mortgage, going through a divorce, has a tax lien, and owns a vacant property. You can stack these motivations. That's the key. You're not just looking for a needle in a haystack. You're using a giant magnet to pull all the needles out before you even start searching. This data is the fuel for your entire business. Without clean, accurate, and highly filtered data, every other part of your machine will sputter and fail. Trying to wholesale virtually without a premium data provider is like trying to be a gold miner with the blindfold on. You might get lucky and stumble upon a nugget, but the pros are using satellite imagery and geological surveys to know exactly where to dig. That's what PropStream and batch leads do for you. Once you have your high-quality fuel, your list of motivated sellers, you need the engine to reach them. This is your outreach stack, and it's typically a three-pronged attack. First, you have the heavy artillery, a power dialer. I'm talking about tools like batch dialer or call tools. A power dialer lets you or a virtual assistant call 3, 4, even 5 lines at once. The moment someone picks up, it instantly connects them to you. This is a game of numbers and efficiency. While a manual caller might make 30 to 40 calls an hour, someone on a power dialer can make 150 to 200. You are compressing time. You are having more conversations faster. This is how you brute force your way into a market and find the people who need to sell right now. But not everyone answers the phone. That's where the second prong comes in: SMS marketing or texting. Platforms like Launch Control or Smarter Contact are built for this. Now, this is critical. You cannot just take your list and start blasting text from your personal cell phone. That is a one-way ticket to getting your number blocked and, worse, facing massive TCPA compliance fines. These platforms are designed to manage this process at scale while keeping you compliant. They allow you to send personalized, targeted messages and manage all the responses in one clean interface. It's a more subtle approach than cold calling. It's the precision strike to the dialer's artillery barrage. Many sellers, especially younger ones, would rather text than talk on the phone. By having both, you're covering your bases. The third prong is the classic, the one people say is dead but continues to close deals for the top 1%. Direct mail. Using a service integrated within something like batch leads or a dedicated company like Open Letter Marketing allows you to send physical mail to your most targeted, high-equity, high-motivation lists. In a world of overflowing email inboxes and constant digital noise, a physical hand-addressed letter can be a powerful pattern interrupt. It sits on the kitchen counter. It gets seen by a spouse. For older demographics who are less likely to respond to a cold call or a text, direct mail is often the key that unlocks the door. So you have your data, your fuel, and now you have your three-part engine. A dialer for volume, SMS for precision, and direct mail for breaking through the noise. But all of this activity, hundreds of calls, thousands of texts, mailers landing across the country, creates chaos. It generates a flood of leads, follow-ups, and data points. And this is where more than half of all aspiring virtual wholesalers fail. They drown in the chaos. This is why the single most important component of your tech stack is the CRM, the Customer Relationship Management System. This is the cockpit of your entire operation. It's the brain. A spreadsheet is not a CRM. Your phone's contact list is not a CRM. I'm talking about a dedicated system like Podio, which is highly customizable, or more specialized real estate CRMs like REI Sift or Follow Up Boss. Your CRM is where every single lead lives. Every call is logged. Every text message is tracked. Every follow-up is scheduled. It tells you who you need to call today, who you need to text next week, and who has an offer pending. It's your pipeline visually laid out, showing you leads moving from new to contacted to appointment set to under contract. It's the air traffic controller for your business. Without it, you have dozens of deals flying around with no guidance, and they will inevitably crash. Leads will get forgotten. Follow-ups will be missed. And a missed follow-up is a missed 5-figure check. Period. A good CRM allows you to see at a glance the health of your entire business from thousands of miles away. It lets you manage a virtual assistant in the Philippines, an acquisitions person in Florida, and a disposition manager in Texas, because you can see all of their activities and communications in one central hub. It is the source of truth for your business. It is non-negotiable. Finally, you have the operational tools that make the virtual part seamless. The nuts and bolts that hold the machine together. First, an e-signature service like DocuSign or PandaDoc. This sounds simple, but it's revolutionary. The days of having to FedEx a contract to a seller in another state and wait 3 days for them to sign and send it back are over. Now you can have a signed purchase agreement in your inbox 10 minutes after you get off the phone. This speed is a massive competitive advantage. Next is your phone system. You need a VoIP or Voice over Internet Protocol system. Something like RingCentral or OpenPhone. Why? Because if you're in Miami and you're calling leads in Detroit, your Miami area code is an immediate red flag. It screams out-of-town investor. A VoIP system lets you instantly purchase a local Detroit number for a few bucks a month. When you call a seller, it shows up as a local number, immediately increasing trust in your pickup rate. It's a small detail that has a massive psychological impact. And for your team, you need a communication hub. Email is too slow and clunky. You need something like Slack. This is your virtual office. You can have different channels for acquisitions, marketing, and closings. Your team can share updates, ask questions, and celebrate wins in real time. It's what keeps a remote team connected and efficient. So let's zoom out. You have data providers as your fuel. You have a multi-channel outreach system as your engine. You have a CRM as the cockpit that controls everything. And you have e-signatures, VoIP phones, and team chat as the operational glue. This isn't just a collection of software. This is a purpose-built system designed to do one thing: find and close deals in any market in the United States, from anywhere in the world. It's a scalable, repeatable, location-independent machine. But here's the thing about a machine, even a perfect one: it doesn't run itself. You can have the most sophisticated tech stack in the world, but it's worthless without the right people operating it. And that brings us to the most critical question of all. Now that you have the machine, who is going to run it for you? How do you find, train, and manage a team of virtual rock stars who will take this system and turn it into a consistent stream of revenue? Because you, the business owner, shouldn't be the one making 200 cold calls a day. Your job is to be the architect, not the laborer. And building that team, that's where the real leverage is. That's how you go from being a solo virtual wholesaler to the CEO of a virtual real estate empire. But what does it actually mean to be the CEO of a virtual wholesaling company? It's a mindset shift. It's the difference between being a technician and an entrepreneur. The technician is the world's best cold caller, the world's best negotiator, the world's best marketer. They are stuck in the business doing all the work. The entrepreneur, the CEO, works on the business. They design the systems, hire the talent, and steer the ship. Your first, most critical job as the CEO is to hire yourself out of a job. You need to systematically replace yourself in every single role, starting with the ones that take up the most time and require the least amount of strategic thinking. So let's build your virtual wholesaling dream team piece by piece. Who is your first hire? It's almost always a lead manager, often called a cold caller or a virtual assistant, a VA. This person is your front line. They are the ones prospecting, sifting through lists of thousands of homeowners to find that one golden nugget, that one person who raises their hand and says, "Yes, I might be interested in selling." Their job is to handle the high-volume, low-conversion work. The cold calls, the text blasts, the initial screening questions. They are qualifying leads, not closing them. You're not looking for a killer salesperson here. You're looking for someone who is persistent, polite, coachable, and can follow a script without sounding like a robot. You want someone who can handle rejection all day long and still show up with a positive attitude tomorrow. This is arguably the most important hire because without a consistent flow of qualified leads, the rest of your business starves. You can find incredible VAs from places like the Philippines for a fraction of what you'd pay domestically. They are your first layer of leverage. Once your lead manager is consistently bringing in warm leads, you'll quickly become the bottleneck. You'll be spending all your time on the phone with sellers, and you won't have any time left to manage the business. This is when you make your second key hire, the acquisitions manager. This is your closer. This is the person who takes the warm lead from your VA and builds rapport, analyzes the deal, overcomes objections, and ultimately, gets the contract signed. This role requires a completely different skill set. While your VA needs persistence, your acquisitions manager needs empathy. They need to be a fantastic listener, a creative problem solver, and a skilled negotiator. They have to be able to connect with a distressed seller on a human level, understand their pain point, and present your offer not as a lowball number, but as a solution to their problem. This is a high-skill, high-impact position, and you should pay them accordingly, usually with a commission structure that heavily rewards performance. A great acquisitions manager can single-handedly transform your business from making a few thousand a month to tens of thousands. They are your rainmaker. Finding a good one is tough, but it's worth the search. Look for people with a sales background, but more importantly, look for people with high emotional intelligence. Now you have contracts coming in. Fantastic. But a signed contract isn't cash in the bank. You need to sell that contract to a cash buyer. This brings us to your third key hire, the dispositions manager, or DISPO for short. If acquisitions is your offense, DISPO is your defense, and your special teams, the ones who put the points on the board. Their entire world revolves around one thing: building and nurturing a massive list of reliable cash buyers in your virtual market. They are master networkers. They're on the phone all day, not with sellers but with other investors, real estate agents, property managers, and contractors. They're scouring Facebook groups, attending local virtual meetups, and analyzing the MLS to see who is paying cash for properties in your target zip codes. When your acquisitions manager gets a property under contract, the dispo manager's job is to blast it out to their buyers list and create a bidding war. They need to be an expert marketer, writing compelling ad copy, taking or coordinating good photos, and understanding the art of pricing a deal to sell it fast. A great dispo manager can often sell a property in a matter of hours and can sometimes add thousands of dollars to your assignment fee just by creating competition among buyers. Like your acquisitions manager, this role is usually heavily commission-based. They eat what they kill, and that keeps them hungry. With leads coming in, contracts being signed, and deals being sold, you're going to be drowning in paperwork. Deadlines, title commitments, addendums, closing statements. It's a logistical nightmare. And if you drop the ball on any of it, the whole deal can fall apart, costing you thousands. This is where your fourth and arguably most underrated hire comes in: the transaction coordinator, or TC. The TC is the glue that holds the entire operation together. They are the project manager for every deal from contract to close. Once a contract is signed by both the seller and the buyer, the TC takes over. They open escrow with the title company, they coordinate inspections, they make sure all the paperwork is submitted correctly and on time, and they communicate with all parties, the seller, the buyer, the title company, to ensure a smooth closing. They are hyper-organized, detail-oriented, and fantastic communicators. Hiring a TC frees up you, your acquisitions manager, and your dispo manager to do what they do best: get more deals. You can often hire a TC on a per-transaction basis, which makes it an incredibly cost-effective way to add a massive amount of leverage and professionalism to your operation. They prevent fires, they don't just put them out. So you have the four core roles: lead manager, acquisitions, dispositions, and transaction coordinator. This is the foundational structure of a seven-figure virtual wholesaling business. But where do you find these people? And how do you pay them? For VAs and lead managers, platforms like onlinejobs.ph are the gold standard. For your US-based, commission-heavy roles like acquisitions and dispositions, look in real estate investor Facebook groups, on LinkedIn, and through networking. Post a job description that sells the vision, not just the tasks. You're not just offering a job, you're offering an opportunity to be part of a fast-growing, location-independent business. As for pay, your VAs might be hourly, somewhere between $5 to $10 an hour depending on skill and experience. Your TC will likely be a flat fee per transaction, maybe a few $100s. But your acquisitions and dispo managers, the revenue generators, they need skin in the game. A common structure is a small base salary or draw, plus a percentage of the gross profit on each deal they handle, anywhere from 10 to 25%. This aligns their incentives directly with the company's. When they win, you win. Don't be afraid to pay talented people what they're worth. A cheap team is the most expensive mistake you can make. The cost of a bad hire isn't just their salary. It's the lost deals, the damaged reputation, and the wasted time. The investment in an A player will pay for itself tenfold. This team structure is what makes virtual wholesaling such a viable strategy today. The ability to assemble a specialized, remote team is unprecedented. You're not limited to the talent pool in your city. You can find the best cold caller in Manila, the best negotiator in Florida, and the best transaction coordinator in Texas, and have them all work together seamlessly to dominate a market in Ohio. That's the power we have at our fingertips. That is the new unfair advantage. But this new unfair advantage isn't just about people. It's about the technology that connects them. It's the digital nervous system that allows your business to function, to thrive, and to scale across state lines as if they don't even exist. Think of it this way. The local boots-on-the-ground wholesaler is fighting with a pocket knife. They know their street, their neighborhood, maybe even their city. But you, the virtual wholesaler, you're piloting a drone with thermal imaging and satellite reconnaissance. You can see the entire battlefield from above. You can identify targets of opportunity in any market, at any time, with a precision that is almost terrifyingly effective. This is what we call the virtual wholesaler's tech stack. It's the suite of software and digital tools that replaces the need for physical presence. And if you're serious about this business, mastering this stack is not optional. Let's break it down into the three core functions of any wholesaling business. finding deals, managing leads, and closing transactions. First, let's talk about finding deals. In the old days, this meant driving for dollars, physically driving up and down streets looking for distressed properties. It meant spending hours at the county courthouse sifting through dusty public records. Today, we do it all with a few clicks of a mouse. The cornerstone of virtual deal finding is data, and services like PropStream, Batch Leads, or ListSource are your digital gold mines. These platforms aggregate mind-boggling amounts of data from public records, credit bureaus, and the MLS. With these tools, you can sit in your apartment in New York City and instantly pull a hyper-targeted list of every pre-foreclosure property in Phoenix, Arizona that has high equity, has been owned for more than 10 years, and is currently vacant. Try doing that by driving around. You can't. You can filter for tired landlords, for inherited properties, for senior owners with deferred maintenance. You're not just throwing darts in the dark, you are performing digital surgery, isolating the exact types of motivated sellers you want to talk to in any of the 3,000 plus counties in the United States. Once you have your list, how do you reach them? This is where your marketing technology comes in. For cold calling, you have power dialers like Batch Dialer or Mojo Cells, which can dial 3, 5, even 10 lines at once for your virtual assistant in the Philippines, exponentially increasing their efficiency. For SMS text message marketing, you have platforms like Launch Control or Smarter Contact that can send out thousands of personalized, compliant text messages to your list, initiating conversations at a scale that would be impossible manually. For direct mail, services like Batch Leads or Click-to-Mail allow you to design, print, and mail thousands of postcards to a list in a market you've never even visited, all without ever touching a piece of paper or a stamp. This is how you achieve marketing omnipresence in a city 1,000 miles away. Now let's move to the second pillar, managing your leads. Getting your phone to ring is only half the battle. This is where so many new wholesalers, virtual or not, completely fall apart. They're using sticky notes, legal pads, and messy Excel spreadsheets. A lead comes in, they jot it down, and it gets lost in the shuffle. A week later, they forget to follow up, and that potential $10,000 deal goes cold. This is business malpractice, and it's a death sentence in a virtual model. Your savior here is a CRM, a customer relationship management system. This is the digital brain of your entire operation. Tools like Podio, which is highly customizable, Follow Up Boss, or even dedicated real estate CRMs are non-negotiable. Every single lead that comes in from your marketing, every phone call, every text response, every form submission on your website must go directly into your CRM. Inside the CRM, you can see the entire history of that lead. Every conversation, every note, every appointment. But the real power is in automation. A new lead comes in, the CRM can automatically send them a text message saying, "Thanks for reaching out. One of our acquisition specialists will call you shortly." It can automatically create a task for your acquisitions manager to follow up in 24 hours. It can move leads from one stage to the next, from new lead to contacted to appointment set to offer made. This system ensures that no lead ever falls through the cracks. It allows your acquisitions manager in Florida to seamlessly pick up a conversation that your cold caller in Manila started, because all the notes and history are right there, organized and accessible from anywhere in the world. This is how you build a reliable, repeatable process for converting leads into contracts. Finally, we have the third and most critical pillar, closing the transaction. This is where the virtual aspect really shines and, frankly, where most people get scared. How do you sign a contract with someone you've never met? How do you manage a closing from across the country? Again, technology is the answer. For contracts, we have e-signature platforms like DocuSign or PandaDoc. The days of printing, faxing, and scanning are over. You can be on the phone with a seller in Memphis, agreed to terms, and while you're still talking to them, you can email them a purchase agreement. They can open it on their smartphone, tap a few buttons to sign it, and you get a legally binding executed contract back in your inbox before you even hang up the phone. It is that fast, that simple, and that powerful. The next piece of the puzzle is the title company or closing attorney. This is the neutral third party that handles all the legal paperwork and the transfer of funds. Your absolute mission is to find an investor-friendly, and more importantly, a virtual-friendly title company in your target market. How do you do this? You get on the phone. You call title companies in that city and you ask them a few simple questions. Do you have experience working with real estate investors? Are you familiar with assignment of contract? Are you able to handle a closing where both the seller and the buyer are remote and will be signing documents digitally or with a mobile notary. If they hesitate or sound confused, thank them for their time and move on. You are looking for the company that says, "Absolutely, we do this all the time." These companies are worth their weight in gold. They will handle the title search, coordinate with the seller, work with your end buyer, and manage the entire closing process for you. They will wire you your assignment fee when the deal is done. They become your trusted hands and eyes on the ground, ensuring a smooth transaction from hundreds or thousands of miles away. So let's put it all together. You sitting at your desk in Miami, use PropStream to pull a list of absentee owners in Indianapolis. You upload that list to Batch Dialer for your VA in Manila to start calling. A hot lead comes in and is automatically piped into your Podio CRM. Your acquisitions manager in Dallas gets an instant notification, calls the seller, builds rapport, and negotiates a price. He sends the contract via DocuSign, and it's signed within minutes. The signed contract is then sent to your pre-vetted, virtual-friendly title company in Indianapolis. You then market the deal to your cash buyers list, find a buyer, sign an assignment agreement again with DocuSign, and the title company handles the rest. 2 weeks later, a $20,000 wire transfer hits your bank account. You never left your city. You never saw the house. You never met the seller or the buyer in person. That is not a fantasy. That is a standard, repeatable business process enabled entirely by modern, accessible technology. The tools are not the barrier anymore. The information is not the barrier. The only remaining barrier is the willingness to learn this new way of doing business, to assemble this tech stack, and to execute the system. But having the best tools and the best team doesn't guarantee success. In fact, it can create a false sense of security, leading to some of the most catastrophic, yet avoidable mistakes in this business. Let's talk about the first and most seductive trap: the illusion of progress. You've got the $5,000 a year CRM, the triple-line auto dialer, the AI-powered skip tracing service that can find the seller's childhood pet's name. Your dashboard is lit up like a NASA control room. You have VAs in the Philippines pulling lists while you sleep. You feel productive. You feel like a CEO. But you haven't spoken to a single motivated seller in 3 weeks. This is the black hole of analysis paralysis. You spend all your time sharpening the axe, but you never actually swing it. You're so terrified of making a bad offer on a bad deal that you never make any offer on any deal. You're constantly tweaking your marketing sequence, A/B testing your cold calling script, and rerunning comps on a property for the 5th time, hoping the numbers will magically change. You convince yourself that this preparation is the work. But it's not. It's procrastination disguised as sophistication. The truth is, your first deal will be messy. Your 5th deal will be messy. You will make mistakes. The goal isn't to build a flawless automated money printing machine from day one. The goal is to get on the phone and have real human conversations. That's where the real data is. That's where the education is. All the tech in the world is just a tool to get you to that conversation faster. If it's preventing you from having the conversation, it's not a tool, it's an anchor. This leads directly into the second catastrophic mistake: the one-size-fits-all fallacy. Let's say you're like an investor I know who absolutely crushed it in his local market of Phoenix, Arizona. He had his system dialed in. He knew the lingo, the neighborhoods, the ARVs like the back of his hand. He decides to go virtual. He pulls up a map, throws a dart, and it lands on Cleveland, Ohio. So, he just copy-pastes his entire Phoenix operation. He uses the same direct mail pieces talking about selling your home without the hassle, with pictures of sunny, palm tree-lined streets. He uses the same cold calling script. He uses the same formula for calculating repair costs. And he gets absolutely nothing. Weeks go by. Thousands of dollars in marketing are burned. The silence is deafening. Why? Because he failed to realize that every market is its own country. It has its own language, its own culture, its own economy. He was trying to sell a Phoenix solution to a Cleveland problem. In Phoenix, a key selling point might be a new AC unit or a pool. In Cleveland, the seller might be worried about a leaky basement or a 30-year-old furnace that won't survive another winter. The very concept of a basement might be foreign to a Phoenix investor. The types of houses are different: brick colonials versus stucco ranches. The seller's pain points are different: job loss in a legacy manufacturing town versus cashing out in a hot Sunbelt market. You cannot be a tourist in your virtual market. You have to become a digital local. You need to obsessively study the local Zillow and Redfin listings. Join the local real estate investor Facebook groups and just listen. What are they complaining about? What are they buying? Who are the big players? You have to learn their language, understand their pain, and tailor your entire approach to that specific zip code. If you don't, you're not a virtual wholesaler. You're just a digital spammer. And that brings us to the mistake that sinks more virtual deals than any other: treating your boots on the ground like a gig worker. So you're sitting in your home office in Miami, and you get a property under contract in Memphis, Tennessee, sight unseen. You're excited. The numbers look amazing on paper. You go on Craigslist or a Facebook group and find someone who'll go take pictures for $50. Let's call him $50 Frank. Frank goes out, snaps a few blurry photos with his phone, emails them to you, and cashes your Venmo payment. The photos look okay. You can see the house is vacant. You blast the deal out to your cash buyers list. A serious buyer, a local flipper who knows the area, drives by. An hour later he calls you and he is furious. He's yelling at you. Why? Because $50 Frank, in his rush to earn his $50, forgot to take pictures of the back of the house, where a massive tree has fallen and crushed the entire roof of the kitchen. He also forgot to mention the smell, the one that tells you there's a serious mold problem and a family of raccoons living in the attic. Your deal is dead. Your reputation in that market is now toxic. And you're out your earnest money deposit. Your boots on the ground are not an afterthought. They are the most critical member of your entire team. They are your eyes, your ears, and your gut instinct. This cannot be a random person from a classified ad. This needs to be a trusted partner. It could be a local real estate agent you build a relationship with, another investor you JV with, or a property manager. You need to interview them. You need to align your incentives. Pay them well for their time and their expertise. A good partner will walk the property and tell you, the pictures don't show the foundation cracks, or you can't tell from the street, but the neighbor's house is a drug den and no one will want to buy this. That information is worth thousands, tens of thousands of dollars. It's the difference between a profitable deal and a catastrophic failure. If you cheap out on your eyes and ears, you will be flying blind and you will crash. Finally, let's talk about the mistake that can not only cost you a deal, but can land you in a courtroom: legal ignorance. This is the scariest one of all. Real estate law is not federal. It is hyperlocal, varying wildly from state to state, and sometimes even from county to county. Imagine you're wholesaling in 3 different states from your laptop. You downloaded a generic one-page purchase agreement from some legal website. You use that same contract for a deal in Texas, a deal in Florida, and a deal in Illinois. You get a property in Illinois under contract. It's a home run. You have a buyer lined up to pay you a $30,000 assignment fee. 2 days before closing, the seller gets a higher offer from a neighbor and decides to back out. You tell them, sorry, you can't do that. We have a legally binding contract. Their attorney sends your attorney a letter. It turns out, in Illinois, there are specific clauses and disclosures required in a residential purchase agreement. An attorney review period specific radon disclosure language that your generic contract completely omits. A judge takes one look at your contract and declares it unenforceable. The seller walks. Your buyer walks. Your $30,000 payday vanishes. You've wasted weeks of work and potentially thousands in legal fees, all because you didn't spend a few $100s to have a local attorney in that state review your documents. Furthermore, the very act of wholesaling is treated differently everywhere. Some states are cracking down, requiring a real estate license to market a property you don't own. They might view what you're doing as unlicensed brokerage activity. Are you allowed to put up a for sale sign? Can you list it on Zillow? Do you need to double close instead of assigning? Using the same process in every state is legal suicide. You must invest the time and money to understand the specific rules of the game in every single market you enter. The tools, the systems, the VAs, they are all amplifiers. They will amplify what's working, but they will also amplify your mistakes. And a legal mistake amplified across multiple markets isn't just a setback. It's a potential business-ending event. So let's put that into perspective. Imagine you're wholesaling in 3 different states. In state A, what you're doing is perfectly legal. In state B, it's a gray area but generally accepted. But in state C, a new law just passed making it illegal to market a property you don't own without a real estate license. Your VA, following your standardized script, starts blasting out your contract to a buyer's list in state C. You aren't just breaking a rule. You're now engaging in unlicensed brokerage activity, and the state's real estate commission gets a complaint. Because you're virtual, you're not a member of the local REIA. You don't have a local attorney on speed dial who knows the commission's lead investigator. You're a ghost, an outsider, and you've just painted a massive target on your back. That is how a business ends. But the truth is, for most people who fail at virtual wholesaling, it's not a dramatic legal implosion. It's quieter. It's a slow bleed. It's death by 1,000 paper cuts caused by a handful of mistakes that almost no one talks about. The gurus sell you the dream of software and systems, but they conveniently leave out the part about the psychological and financial traps that will absolutely gut your business from the inside out if you're not prepared. These are the silent killers of the virtual wholesaler. The first and most common is what I call the mirage of the perfect market. It's this constant, desperate search for a magical city where deals fall from the sky. Starts innocently. You pick a market, maybe Phoenix. You spend $1,000 on a list, you start marketing, and it's slow. You get a few nibbles but no bites. Then you see a YouTube video. I'm crushing IT in Indianapolis. The margins are insane. Suddenly, Phoenix seems old and tired. The grass in Indianapolis is so much greener. So you drop everything. You pivot. You buy a new list for Indy, you set up new phone numbers, you tweak your marketing. You spend another $1,000. And for a week it feels exciting. It's a fresh start. But the same thing happens. It's hard work. And just as you're about to get some traction, a guy in a podcast screams about the untapped potential of Little Rock, Arkansas. And the cycle begins again. This isn't strategic pivoting. It's a form of high-cost procrastination. You are confusing motion with progress. Every time you jump markets, you reset the clock to zero. You lose all the momentum, all the brand recognition, all the subtle market data you were starting to absorb. Your VAs get whiplash. Your marketing budget evaporates. You're like a person trying to get water by digging 100 different wells, but only digging 1 foot deep in each. You will work yourself to exhaustion and die of thirst, while the person who just picked one spot and dug 100 feet deep is hitting the gusher. The perfect market doesn't exist. Success comes from mastering a market, not chasing every market. It comes from building a reputation and a network brick by brick in one place. Your buyers need to know you're a serious player in their city, not a tourist who might disappear next week. The second silent killer is the virtual vacuum. When you're wholesaling in your own backyard, you have an incredible, often underestimated advantage: ground truth. You can get in your car and drive the neighborhood. You can see with your own eyes that while one street is full of beautifully renovated homes, 2 streets over it's still plagued with crime and neglect. You can feel the vibe of a community. You can meet a seller for coffee and see the desperation or the stubbornness in their eyes. You can shake hands with a cash buyer at a local meetup and build genuine human rapport. This is invaluable, unquantifiable data. In the virtual world, you operate in a vacuum. You are completely disconnected from that reality. You become dangerously reliant on third-party data. You're staring at Google Street View, which might be 5 years old. You're trusting Zillow's estimate, which can be wildly inaccurate. You're analyzing comps from a computer screen, unable to see that the house that sold for top dollar had a stunning lake view that your subject property lacks. You're just a voice on the phone. You can't see the seller wringing their hands. You can't read the body language. You're trying to solve a deeply human problem. Someone needing to sell a distressed property through a technological keyhole. And this vacuum leads to critical errors in judgment. You overestimate ARVs. You underestimate repair costs. You misread a seller's true motivation. You end up putting a deal under contract that looks golden on paper but is absolute garbage in reality, and you only find out after you've spent weeks and hundreds of dollars trying to sell it to buyers who know the area and can see the flaws you couldn't. This leads directly to the third and most financially devastating silent killer: the financial fog. This is the profound misunderstanding of market-specific economics. You might be a genius at calculating deals in your home state of Texas, but if you take that same formula and apply it to a deal in Illinois or Pennsylvania, you're going to get wiped out. You assume repair costs are universal. They're not. The cost of labor and materials can vary by 30 to 40% from one metro to another. A new roof in a non-hurricane zone is a fraction of the cost of a hurricane-rated roof, required by code in coastal Florida. But the real killer is closing costs. This is the #1 thing that vaporizes the profits of rookie virtual wholesalers. In your market, the seller might typically pay for the title policy, but in the market you've targeted, it's customary for the buyer to pay. Or worse, you've jumped into a state with massive transfer taxes. In Pennsylvania, for example, the transfer tax is typically 2%, split between buyer and seller. On a $250,000 transaction, that's a $5,000 cost you didn't account for. Your cash buyer absolutely is accounting for it, and they're deducting it and more from their offer to you. You thought you had a $15,000 assignment fee, but your buyer's offer comes in and you're suddenly looking at a $5,000 fee, or even a loss because you were operating in a fog, completely ignorant of the local financial realities. You didn't realize that high property taxes in the Northeast mean buyers have higher holding costs and are therefore more conservative with their offers. You didn't know that in certain states, you need an attorney to close, adding another $1,000 or more to the transaction. These three killers work together in a vicious cycle. The mirage of the perfect market keeps you jumping around, so you never escape the financial fog of a new area. Operating in the virtual vacuum prevents you from getting the ground truth. You need to correct your financial assumptions. The result is a business that's constantly spinning its wheels, burning cash, and building a reputation for bringing bad deals to the table. Eventually, your buyers stop answering your calls. Your marketing budget runs dry, and you're left wondering what went wrong, blaming the market, the leads, or the gurus when the real problem was the flawed foundation you were building on. So, if these are the traps, if the landscape is littered with these landmines that can silently and systematically dismantle your entire operation, how do you navigate it? How do you leverage the incredible power of virtual wholesaling while avoiding the pitfalls that doom 90% of the people who try it? What is the actual tactical framework for building a virtual business that is not just profitable, but resilient and sustainable for the long term? How do you turn the vacuum into an advantage and the fog into a crystal clear financial model? Let's build that framework piece by piece. The first pillar, the very foundation of your virtual empire, is hyperspecific market mastery. Forget picking a state. That's amateur hour. We're talking about becoming the digital mayor of a single county, or even a handful of zip codes. You need to go deep, not wide. The fog clears when you stop looking at the entire country and start looking at a single data-rich market through a high-powered microscope. You're looking for the trifecta: a healthy volume of transactions, a significant spread between the median home price and the as-is values investors pay, and most importantly, a deep pool of active cash buyers. Use tools like PropStream, batch leads, or even public records to find where the sharks are already feeding. Look for zip codes with a high percentage of cash sales over the last 6 to 12 months. That's your treasure map. That's where the demand is. Don't chase deals to a market. Follow the cash buyers and you'll find the deals. Pick one, maybe two of these honeyhole markets and commit to them. Learn their streets, their school districts, their major employers, all from your desk. You should know more about the property values in your target zip code 1,000 miles away than the person living there. That's how you turn the vacuum of distance into an arsenal of information. The second pillar is your lead generation engine. This is the heart of the business, pumping the lifeblood of opportunities into your system. If this heart stops, the business dies. And in a virtual model, you can't rely on a single artery. You need a multi-channel redundant system. This means a strategic blend of inbound and outbound marketing. Outbound is your brute force, targeted cold calling, relentless SMS campaigns, and surgically precise direct mail hitting lists of tired landlords, absentee owners, and probate leads in your chosen market. This gives you immediate feedback and data, but it's a grind, so you pair it with inbound marketing, the magnet. This is your long-term asset. A simple professional website optimized for keywords like "sell my house fast" in your target city, a Google business profile, maybe even targeted Google or Facebook ads that position you as the premier problem solver in that area. While your outbound team is hunting, your inbound magnet is attracting. One provides predictable, immediate conversations. The other builds an asset that generates warmer, higher quality leads over time. The key is to track everything. What's your cost per lead for each channel? What's your cost per contract? Data eliminates guesswork. You're not just throwing marketing dollars into the void. You are a sophisticated investor, allocating capital to the channels that produce the highest return. Now for the third and arguably most critical pillar: ironclad systems and automation. This is what separates the six-figure freelancer from the seven-figure business owner. This is how you build a machine that operates with or without you. Every single step of your process, from the moment a lead comes in to the second the wire hits your account, must be documented and systematized inside a CRM, a customer relationship management tool. Think of it as your company's central nervous system. A lead comes in, the system automatically assigns it to an acquisitions manager and triggers a task for the first call. No answer? The system automatically puts them into a 90-day follow-up sequence of calls, texts, and emails. You got a verbal agreement? You click a button, and a contract is auto-populated and sent for e-signature via DocuSign. Contract signed, it automatically moves to the under contract stage and notifies your transaction coordinator to open escrow with your title company. You are building a virtual assembly line for real estate deals. You use tools like Podio, Salesforce, or even a souped-up Monday.com board. The tool is less important than the philosophy: to remove human error, eliminate forgotten follow-ups, and create a predictable, repeatable process that anyone on your team can execute flawlessly. This isn't just about efficiency. It's about creating a saleable asset. A business built on systems is a business with real value. The fourth pillar solves the no-touch dilemma. It's about building your A-team on the ground. You are the general, but you need loyal lieutenants in the trenches. These are your eyes, ears, and hands. Who are they? First, a rockstar real estate agent. Not just any agent. You need an investor-friendly agent who understands your model. Their job is to provide you with fast, accurate comps, give you access to the MLS, and potentially be your go-to person to list properties you decide to take down and flip. Second, a title company or real estate attorney who is an expert in creative financing and specifically wholesale assignments. Call 10 of them in your target market. Ask them directly, are you familiar and comfortable with assignment of contract transactions? If they hesitate, hang up and call the next one. This relationship is non-negotiable. Finally, you need a reliable, affordable person for photos and access. Your boots on the ground. This could be a local handyman, a college student, or even another real estate agent you pay per visit. Their job is simple. Go to the property, take 50 good photos and a walkthrough video, and report back on the condition. You find these people on BiggerPockets forums, in local real estate Facebook groups, or by asking your title company for referrals. Vet them, pay them well, and treat them like gold. They are the physical extension of your virtual business. And that brings us to the fifth and final pillar, the art of the virtual close. This is where psychology meets technology. How do you build deep, genuine rapport with a seller you'll never meet? How do you convince them to trust you with their largest financial asset over a phone call? You do it by becoming an absolute master of communication. You over-communicate to fill the void left by physical presence. You use video. Instead of just sending an offer, you record a 2-minute Loom video where you walk them through the offer, screen share the comparable sales you used, and explain your reasoning. They see your face. They hear your voice. Suddenly, you're not a faceless entity from another state. You're a real person. You use Zoom or FaceTime for your appointments whenever possible. You become an expert at active listening, picking up on the subtle hesitations and emotional cues in their voice. You are patient, you are empathetic, and you are relentlessly professional. You follow up when you say you will. Your contracts are clean and easy to understand. Your process is transparent. In a world of digital noise and scams, you become the signal of trust and credibility. You don't just sell them on an offer. You sell them on the confidence that you are the safest, most reliable solution to their problem. So let's circle back to the ultimate question. Is virtual wholesaling a good strategy for the US market today? The answer is an unequivocal, resounding yes. It's a good strategy if you reject the get-rich-quick fantasy and embrace the discipline of building a real, systemized business. It's a good strategy if you become a data scientist in your market selection, a master marketer in your lead generation, a systems architect in your operations, a skilled diplomat in building your ground team, and a student of human psychology in your sales process. The barrier to entry for this business has never been lower. You don't need a massive bankroll. You don't need a license. You don't need a corner office. All you need is a laptop, a phone, and an obsessive commitment to execution. But the barrier to success has never been higher. The market is too competitive for dabblers. The sellers are too savvy for amateurs. You can't outmuscle the competition anymore. You have to outthink them, outsystematize them, and outserve them. The opportunity today isn't just about flipping a contract for $10,000 or $20,000. It's about building a location-independent machine that can generate revenue from anywhere in the world. It's about leveraging technology to compress time and space, allowing you to operate in the most profitable markets, not just the most convenient ones. It's about building true freedom, financial freedom, yes, but also geographic freedom. The fog of uncertainty and the vacuum of distance are not obstacles. They are the moat. They are the very things that keep the lazy and the uncommitted out of the game. For the few who are willing to build the systems, master the technology, and lead with integrity, that fog becomes a cloak of competitive advantage, and that vacuum becomes a blank canvas on which to build an empire. The tools are here. The data is available. The model is proven. The question is no longer if it's possible. The only question left is, will you be the one to build it?